Muy buenos días o muy buenas tardes o muy buenas noches, depende de cuándo nos veas. Te hablo desde la 32ª edición del festival SUNCINE, como ya sabes, el festival más longevo del mundo de cine documental y de compromiso con el medio ambiente. Hoy estamos aquí para entrevistar a una de las autoras que ha presentado su trabajo Pantanal a este festival. Vamos a hablar con Sofija Korf. Ella es productora de este trabajo, es productora de vídeo en Environmental Justice Foundation, una organización internacional sin ánimo de lucro dedicada a abordar crisis ambientales y de derechos humanos. Desde 2019, Korf ha trabajado documentando tanto las amenazas como la belleza del mundo natural con el objetivo de abogar por su producción y la protección. Respecto a la producción concreta de Pantanal, es un documental de 61 minutos producido precisamente por Environmental Justice Foundation en el año 2025, que se presenta a esta 32ª edición del Festival SUNCINE dentro de la sección internacional. El film ha sido dirigido por nuestra invitada especial de hoy, con Sofija Korf, y ha obtenido reconocimiento internacional al ser nominado para los prestigiosos Wild Screen Panda Awards, los conocidos Oscar verdes del cine de naturaleza en la categoría de impacto. La película narra la historia de la bióloga brasileña Luciana Leite, quien en el año 2020 cumplió el sueño de su vida de visitar el Pantanal. Es el humedal tropical más grande del mundo. ¿Y qué encontró? Bueno, pues en lugar de encontrarse el paraíso de biodiversidad que ella esperaba, Leite se encontró con el peor incendio de la historia del Pantanal. Conmocionada por la devastación, junto con su colega Heideger Nascimento, inició una investigación para descubrir las causas de estos incendios catastróficos, desvelando una crisis que se había estado gestando durante décadas. El documental combina la cinematografía impresionante, ahora hablaremos con su autora, con testimonios científicos, con líderes indígenas y comunidades locales, mientras que examina también los desafíos urgentes a los que se enfrenta esta región: la crisis climática, la intensificación de la agricultura y la transformación del cerrado. Son factores que están interrumpiendo el ciclo vital del agua del humedal. A través de los viajes de dos defensores ambientales, esta obra celebra la biodiversidad incomparable del bioma, su papel crucial en la regulación climática y las vidas de los pueblos indígenas y comunidades locales que lo llaman hogar. Vamos a saludar ya a nuestra invitada de hoy, a Sofija. Nice to meet you, Sofija. Thank you for being here and congratulations for your wonderful work.
Thank you for having me.
We have a short introduction to your work. It's a film that it shows the marvelous world of the natural side, but also the dangers and the issues and the big problems that the people that are living there, they try to make face, no, to put the face in front of them. But it's very sad to see what is going on and how urgent is the situation. This is something that you also put on the table. It's a wonderful work because it's something like controversial, no? To see the beautiful thing and also the more horrible things. How is your work to put the focus in everything in order to have a complete view of the panorama?
Yeah, well, thank you for the kind words about our film. I really appreciate them. I feel it was always important for us to have both in the film. We really wanted to bring the Pantanal on the map because even though it's such an amazing ecosystem, it's still not widely known. So we wanted to show the beauty of it, the magic of it, so that the viewers could connect with it better. And only then we would delve into the issues that it is facing. And hopefully, by showcasing them, also spark the changes. And we actually have an impact campaign attached to the film as well. So besides working on the cinematic front, we're also working on another front by showing this film to decision makers across Brazil and Europe, and trying to change the situation, really. We're also working with indigenous communities in the Pantanal. So even though the picture is locked, our work in a way still continues.
Your film has been nominated for a Wild Screen Panda Award, truly a remarkable achievement. What did that moment feel like for you and your team? Because sometimes in this kind of works, they don't receive the recognize that you deserve, no? But in this case, it's not like that. What do you feel about it?
Oh, we were overwhelmed. It's our first feature wildlife film, and to get into the into the wild screen with this debut work really felt like a huge achievement for our small team. And to be honest, we were just really happy that the Pantanal was getting this kind of exposure as well. But we were in a tough competition against the ocean with David Attenborough. So it was difficult to win. We didn't win on this occasion, but even the nomination itself was already a huge achievement, considering how small our team was.
You work closely with Luciana Leite and Heideger Nascimento, sorry, the two environmental defenders featured in the film. Tell us about that experience. How do you create this atmosphere of confidence? How do you feel their pain and their struggle? How do you approach to the scientific, but also this human side? Because they are two persons that have a high level of sensibility. No, we can see them not only as scientific people. They are suffering a lot in this film. How is the approach from your side to take all this soul in the work?
Yeah, I think building trust was key. And we certainly didn't start out there with me coming with cameras and asking questions. Our relationship has formed over the years. We first met in 2020, so when the original destructive fires happened in the Pantanal. So we just got in touch with Luciana. We started talking online and supporting her in the Pantanal with providing cameras and firefighting equipment. And then we just stayed in touch for a while before my first trip to Brazil. That happened almost 2 years later. So we already have known each other quite well before we actually went into the field together. And in a way, I think it also helped like keeping our crew very small, because we could then get intimate and talk about things, and not only from the scientific perspective, but also seeing them as this, ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, and as like these individuals with dreams and passion and this huge desire to actually change the world for the better. So sometimes, and then we also had to zoom out a little bit to actually discuss like more scientific side of the Pantanal. So it was always like trying and find this balance right. But I think by just doing multiple interviews and sometimes talking, in the kitchen or in the car also really helped with that, to keep natural, to not always follow with the official interview setup, but just allow things to flow and unfold as they really are.
What discoveries during the filmmaking process impacted you most? What kind of things for you has been a shock that you didn't expect from this work?
There were many unexpected things, but I think I will probably focus on the positive experience, although there are some difficult scenes in the film that were truly shocking, especially being part of them. But I think I'd rather go with the magic of the Pantanal. And excuse me for mentioning money, but we had a really small budget for this film, and we only had 6 days to shoot wildlife in the Pantanal, which seemed almost an impossible task. So I was really worried about getting the shots right, because I think for some audience, I imagined that they would represent the Pantanal, right? And when we arrived there, it was pouring with rain, and the animals were nowhere to be seen. And I thought, well, this is a good start.
Oh
So
my God, no?
we'll see what happens next. But we remained humbled. We stayed out there, recorded like little things, drops of rain on the grass, just some close-ups. I started filming Jubiru, and after that I realized there was some movement in the background. And actually I tried to refocus, and I saw 3 jaguars just coming out of nowhere in this misty field full of blossoming flowers. And I think after this moment, and then we followed the jaguars, they were mating. It was the most amazing shooting day. And I think after that, things really started to switch. And it was almost as if the Pantanal itself wanted to see this film being made, because it was almost co-directing with us by all of these amazing scenes that we just had to point and shoot. So I think for me this was one of the most amazing experiences, almost feeling that the Pantanal was actually collaborating with us.
What would you say to someone who watched Pantanal and feel like overwhelmed by the scale of the crisis? Because sometimes you get the impact, you get the human side, and also the solidarity and the suffering. But what will you say to some people that maybe they don't know how to act or react to your work?
Yeah, well, I don't think there is a single recipe, right, on how on how to act or what the response should be. I think it's important not to feel powerless, even though the crisis is so big, and even though I personally believe that it's more about structural changes. But we also have to remember that as individuals, we also have the power. We also have the power to change things. And I think it's really about looking for the answer within yourself inside, because things can bring different things to the table. It's either spreading the message, right? You can also go online and find the charity that is working in the Pantanal and support their work. Or maybe you have some kind of a talent, I don't know, painting or filmmaking or whatever this talent is. I think there are ways to find how to use it to help the Pantanal. And I think it's not about one way of getting there, but the multitude of them.
With this work, you are bringing the people to the possibility just almost there, to be there, no, to see what is going on, and something that most of the people can see. This is one of the impact of the SUNCINE festival. They receive hundred of works, marvelous works in the cinematographic side, in the cinematographic way, but also in the impact of the need of knowing what is going on. What do you feel regarding the media, the journalism, that they don't talk about it? And this is something that, thanks to your work and to the SUNCINE festival, but sometimes I make myself the question why we don't know about these urgent situations, and we don't see it in the principal highlights in the channels of news or in newspapers. What is going on regarding that?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a hard one to answer. I think it's very hard to get into the issues when they're no longer making the headlines. For example, the fires in the Pantanal in 2020 were widely reported across the global media. But then when they were put down, everything also went silent again, even though the fires probably, despite being catastrophic, they're not the main problem. They more are the symptom of the problem that is actually happening. So with this film, we really wanted to delve into these issues, to see the underlying causes behind the fires in the Pantanal, and in a way just unpack them layer by layer. I wish there was more of that in the media too, but I don't want to generalize. I think some journalists are really doing an amazing job and they're covering these issues. It just probably hard to pitch it to editors. I don't really know, but I'm very grateful for SUNCINE to also exposing our work and making sure that this message is not lost and it is shared with the public, because we can't begin the change if we don't even know that the things are happening, right?
I can see that. I'm sorry for talking about it like that, but you are young. You are a young woman. And one of the parts of the work of this festival, also SUNCINE, is to make it easy for the youngest people in the schools, in the classrooms. SUNCINE offers the possibility to the schools to show your work and to create a climate of education in these kinds of tools, no? Because sometimes the problem is that we are concerned about these issues. The youngest generation, they grow up without knowledge or a concrete knowledge, because on the books they know that there are problems, but maybe this is something that it will be not only for the festival, an initiative for the festival that is wonderful, but maybe we can make some kind of pressure to have works like yours into the school rooms, no? um, because I feel with the smaller generations that they don't realize how deep is the problem, the issue, and how important is they grow up knowing exactly what is going on right now, knowing the past and not to the future, right now what is going on. Do you know if there is some kind of lines on this idea on the COP they're gonna start right now? Do you have any kind of ideas regarding the education projects?
Well, I think this is an important area to look into, and I definitely agree with you that we need to bridge different generations and we need to show it as wide as possible. This has not been our focus yet, because we focused on showing the film to decision makers to try and strengthen legal protections for the Pantanal. We're also considering a screening at COP, the climate conference in Berlin. But I agree with you, it would be crucial to reach younger generations, and if there is a way to make this happen and maybe collaborate on that, we would definitely like to look into it.
And Sofia, I don't want to take so much time from you, but we can see right now these wonderful pictures, these wonderful images are wonderful, I guess, that you have used high technology, maybe drones or something like that, because we can see panoramic side, and like now it's amazing, it's wonderful. Um, what do you think also regarding the new tools for the cine arena? Your work as a young film creator, what kind of possibilities you have right now that facilitates your work and change absolutely the way of work right now?
Yeah, well, I think with the new generation of drones that a little bit more democratic in terms of that you can actually buy them. It's easier than ever to make films without even having access to the best technology out there. I'm lucky enough, I'm working with the organization, so we have a number of different tools, whether cameras, drones, or even we even used GoPro as well on some of the shots. We attached it to a car to get a different perspective. We really wanted to show what it feels like crossing bridges in the Pantanal. But I also don't want to like discourage some people who don't necessarily have the access to technology from making films, because now films can be shot even using smartphones. It's all about the story that is there, and if you have a good story, there is a way to tell it. I think, well, that's my belief anyway.
Sounds nice, but it's amazing. The images that we are seeing is something incredible, because sometimes it's like right now you are using tools that can show us this kind of images that are very sad in one side, but are very beautiful in the other, no? Because this kind of art is it's amazing right now. We can see a lot of images that are wonderful, no? And it's a very, very nice work. And it's something that we can use also, no? The new technologies to change, no? To change the point of view and to make the work even better. Sofija, I don't know if there is something that you want to add. You are in the SUNCINE. Your work has been selected as we can see is a very, very, very good work. And what do you hope for this festival, SUNCINE, and for next steps in your career? If you are working in something new or you are putting the focus in the next project, if you can tell something about it, what is going on?
Well, sure. Well, first of all, we are very grateful to be a part of the festival and to bring this film to the Spanish audience. This is a great achievement for us, and we want to put the Pantanal on the map and make sure that people connect with it, and well, hopefully, maybe even fall in love with it a little bit. And for me personally, I'm still working a lot on this film, making sure that it gets the exposure as well, because it is one thing to make a film, and then the other thing is to make sure that it's actually seen by someone. So the Pantanal is still taking a lot of my time, but this is great. I really like this project. And also, as I am working with the Environmental Justice Foundation, we also have a lot of other projects going on at the same time. We are not making yet another long film, so mostly focusing on shorts. And one of the recent shorts that I made was about unregulated squid fishing in the Atlantic Ocean. And I've been also working on another film about how communities in Ghana can protect their mangroves. But they are smaller films. Nonetheless, I really enjoy working on them as well.
So we hope to see you soon. We hope to see your next works. And by the moment, we really want that everybody see Pantanals. And so many thanks for giving us your time right now in this interview. And so many luck for the festival and for all the hours that you're gonna deserve for your work. So many thanks, Sofija.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.